guys, back again with another video. So it takes $1,923.08. You have to profit $1,923.08 to make $100,000 a year. You need to make that every single week. That's roughly $275 a day, working 7 days a week to make $100,000 a year. The reason why I'm talking about $100,000 a year is because that was my goal. I made my first $100,000 a year truck driving. I didn't make $100,000 a year when I was selling cars. I made $60,000 my best year as a car salesman. Now, I know some guys, hell, some guys that I worked with made $100,000, $200,000. I know a car salesman right now that make $200,000 a year consistently. I never did that because I guess I wasn't that good at it, right? I had to find something that I was good at, because I got peers. I got guys that work with me or that I work with making $200,000, and I make $40,000, $30,000 on my most years. I think I had $150,000, and 1 year I made $60,000. That was my highest year. That was the most I ever made selling cars that year. You know, but I made it a goal that I wanted to make $100,000. And during that time, you know, my credit, you know, I never really had bad credit, but at the time, you know, my credit wasn't the best. I couldn't just buy a whole bunch of stuff because debt to income ratio. I had a couple cars that I was financing. I was financing a motorcycle. I didn't even have a mortgage yet or anything like that. But at the end of the day, it's about debt to income ratio, because I had all these payments that I was making, and my credit cards that I had, because one thing that I did always have was credit cards. My credit cards was always maxed out, and I'll make the minimum payments and stuff like that. And when I realized what was holding down my credit, which was the credit card balances, you know, I made a conscious effort to pay those balances to zero. And when I got into trucking, I was able to make enough money and enough income to focus mostly on my credit cards. Now, $100,000 a year, you will become a millionaire regardless. Nothing is going to be able to stop you. If you can make $100,000, probably less than that, because depending on the type of lifestyle you want to live, the type of car you want to drive, or whatever the case may be, you know, you can become a millionaire regardless. Because right now, since I've been in the trucking business or the trucking industry, or had my CDL driving trucks for 5 years now, I've every day make a conscious effort to figure out little things that I could do to lower my overhead, you know. And my goal is, of course, I don't want to have a whole bunch of equipment that I'm paying for. I'm trying to lower my overhead, because if I wanted to park my truck and not go to work at all, I only want to have an insurance payment. And insurance is important because, you know, of course, two guys, you know, like I said, if you need insurance, you know, let me know, you know, send me an email and I'll give you the people that I use. You know, I know a lot of people shout outs to everybody who did call the insurance company and you guys was able to get insurance and stuff like that. I appreciate the feedback, because I do let a lot of people know who my insurance agency is, and you know, a lot of people have been getting insurance through them, you know, with good rates and stuff like that. But insurance is the only thing, the main thing that's going to keep your authority active. If you default on your insurance, then they're going to cancel your authority. They're going to shut it down. So I'm saying that because, like, if I wanted to take 6 months off, I still would have to pay that insurance payment. Now, if I wanted to take 6 months off and I don't have a truck payment and all this other stuff, of course we got miscellaneous stuff we got to pay for. Like, we got to pay for your 2290 and, you know, your drug consortium and all that stuff. That stuff don't even add up to maybe $500, if that. So that's not really a big deal. But insurance is going to cost you $800, $900 a month, $1,000 a month, $1,100, $1,200 a month, right? So if that's my only expense, if the insurance is my only cost of doing business and trucking, I can do that forever, right? I can do that forever. I know I've been talking about adding trucks on and stuff like that, which I will, but I came to the conclusion, I don't want to pretty much add nobody onto my authority at this point. My authority is just going to be me, because at any time I want to go to work, I can hop in that truck and I can go make money. So doing everything else that I do, like I want to get into Turo cars and stuff like that, you know, by me lowering my overhead, and you guys should be going into trucking with this in mind. Of course, we're gonna have to finance equipment to get started. Everybody's not fortunate to go buy a truck cash or a trailer cash. So if we do have to finance those things, make sure your credit good, and always have the end goal. How are you gonna get out of that, right? Are you gonna pay that equipment off and have just an insurance payment, or you're gonna do the lease game? But make sure if you do the lease game, that's a part of your expense, your overhead. You wanna have your overhead to this much. So my overhead is gonna be cost of doing business for me is gonna be low, because that's just gonna be my truck on my authority. If I do buy other trucks, I'm gonna lease them on the other carriers, and that's gonna be expenses just for that. But to live just the way that I wanna live my lifestyle, one truck with other trucks leased on other carriers, doing Turo and stuff like that, what am I gonna do with the rest of my money? Invest it. I'm gonna live a lifestyle that I wanna live, you know, take care of my obligations as far as whatever the kids want to do and help them along their way as they become young men and adults, and invest the rest of the money. And that's how you're going to become a millionaire regardless. And I started that off by just writing down that number. I put it actually in my phone in the notes, $1,923.08 profit. I had to make that every single week to make 100,000. Now, if you missed a week, that means you need to make more the next week. You know, $275 a day. If you only work 5 days a week, that means you're gonna have to make more money every day if you only work 5 days a week. But that's what I did, and that's what I continue to do. And that's how you guys need to focus on getting your credit built, right? Getting your credit built, because now it doesn't matter how much money I make. If I want to go buy a Lamborghini or a Bentley right now, I probably can afford it with driving one truck, you know? So it always depends on your lifestyle. And by all means, if you want a Lamborghini, you know, you should get one. Everybody deserves whatever you deserve. Some people may say, oh, it's stupid to buy this, it's stupid to buy that. But if you want it, you deserve it. You deserve to live whatever type of lifestyle that you want to live. But be smart about it and always have a plan. And if you get into debt, it's not a bad thing. When you get into debt, you want to have an end game. You want to have an out. You want to have a plan on how you're going to pay back that money and how you're going to use borrowing that money to make you some money. What I mean by that is, if I'm going to borrow some money from the bank to buy a truck, I'm going to put that truck on the road. That truck going to make the money to pay that bank back, pay for itself, and put money in my pocket. That's good debt. Bad debt is borrowing $5,000 and taking it to the strip club. You know, stuff like that. So that's all I really have to say for today. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, see you in the next video.